them in so better need South African runner. And the only thing them need I know for govern up the land. But the use them in Kibera, I man said them willing. Only thing they need I know some Kenny and shilling. For the use them in the ghetto, bad vibes of them for Lego. They shall strive and do.
Fire, what you saying?
Yes, I give thanks for life, you know.
A serious thing. We are here again, Baldhead and the Dread, and I have to remind everyone listening, make sure you check out the new short film documentary, Mesh Marina, right? Jamaica's most famous shirt. It is available here. I Never Knew TV, also Far Right.
Piece of documentary.
Give thanks, Far Right. Also, Far Right's EP is still there. It's not going nowhere. And if you haven't listened to it now, you've been listening to the show, shame on you, Fire. Make sure you check it, stream it, purchase it, Disrupting the Status Quo. He has numerous videos. You have a video for every song he said on the EP. So make sure you check it out. We'll put the link in the description. Make sure you support the brethren. What else is there, Far Right? Enough New Reasons there. Also, we are spinning on I Never Knew Radio every Sunday, 9 to 11 a.m., Wednesdays 8 to 10, and Thursdays 10 to noon. Roots rock reggae music, playing foundation artists you never heard of, but always playing music with a message, making sure the message is in the music with a sprinkle of lovers rock. Sometimes you're the vibe, you know how that go already, right? But Far Right, what we reasoning about today?
Yes, I well the reasoning about the great Pan-Africanist Thomas Sankara and some life lesson where we can take from the ones them experience and carry it over in our experience to ensure that the mission is a successful mission itself, you know?
Serious thing. And since we're dealing with life lessons, I know there's one I would like to mention here, referring on my bridge. And for those unfamiliar with Thomas Sankara, we're not trying to make this into a big history lesson. He's a Brigadier that took Upper Volta to Burkina Faso in the 80s. One of Africa's greatest leaders. Some may say he's the greatest leader of the 20th century. Pointless argument, but he definitely is one of the greatest leaders. And the Brigadier has set an example for so many things we could follow. In regards to life lessons, I would say one of the greatest ones that he left was being proactive instead of reactive. I think too many times in our life and all in the totality of our lives, people need to be more proactive. We tend to react after things happen, and you need to open your eyes and have a vision and see where you can get on top of things before they get out of hand. He did a great job during his time. Even though it was a short time, he's very impactful. That's why we're speaking about the man now. For those unaware, the Brigadier was an environmentalist. As you know, many Africans suffer from deforestation and other things. I believe the Brigadier planted over 1 million trees using the people. Also, another thing with being proactive is, I would say, for Thomas Sankara, being proactive, Far Right. I know he had the vaccines, right? Actually, let me go thing. I put a note here to make sure I tell you the proper thing. All right. He had a thing called a vaccination commando, right? During that time, or during his reign, millions of children were dying from measles, meningitis, and yellow fever. And he had a campaign to get people vaccinated. Now, this is the thing. The Brigadier wasn't receiving any aid from France and America because he was licking a firearm. So he had to go get funding himself. I believe he got funding from Cuba. Not sure about Russia, but I know Cuba for sure. But this is the thing I think that was so most important: persuading people in the rural areas to get vaccinated. And him being successful doing that, I think, needs to be commended, because remember, you're dealing with a population that's kind of turned off to that whole vibe, you know, like people are in modern times. But he was able to educate them and save a lot of lives because that was running fierce. What's another lesson there, Fire? We have,
you know, so when you talk about being proactive, though, I'm thinking about Thomas Sankara, like the amount of time where him in a office, that alone show how proactive him is in a Fire, because the short time span, I think overall like 4.5 years or something like that, him are the main prime minister for Burkina Faso. First and foremost, him show you the naming Burkina Faso himself, land of the upright man. That alone, him don't have the vision from get-go. And the fact that the man spends so little time and accomplish so much things, he must know what him did want to accomplish even before him reach. And once him reach, him just hit the ground and running. And a lot of people can't maintain the consistency there. I mean, and put the idea, take the idea from a thought. Because everybody have a thought, you know. And that most people don't understand. Nobody say, oh, but I had the idea. Yeah, you have the idea. But how you reinforce the idea. And when you think about life lesson and think about being proactive, it come like the main thing that me take from the man in a fire. Because like me respect anybody who can, whether it be positive or negative, me respect the concept of being proactive and consistent to the manner where you have the thought, you think about the strategy for implement the thought, and you go out there and just get the thing. As we say, words, works, and manifestation. And we see Thomas Sankara live to come do that, and him come do it fearlessly too, because even when it comes to the African Union, when the man make it very plain and simple. I don't want a friend from Europe. And if we're gonna deal with the Europeans, them, we have to deal with the Europeans them to a extent, and we have to have them to a limit. And him say that right in the house without apology. So you see, when you think about somebody being proactive, you have to talk about a man who take him stance, who make you know where him a deal with right off the top, and him just carry it out fearlessly. And them think that thing we have to really look upon and say, yo, you know, say that's them type of if a meditation that the youth them supposed to have, because if the youth them have them type of education now. All right, when I say education, I'm not talking about the school education. Education of knowing, say, you have to start something from the ground up and carry it through and see it through. Them type of meditation, they are them thing that the youth them supposed to look forward to. And I feel like Thomas Sankara is the best example of that. So being proactive, that's one of the main part-time whole career and whole activism where really make me look on him different, you know?
Before I get into the second lesson, you just brilliantly summed it up, right? Seeing things through from beginning to end. You know, and I think that's a trait, that's a habit. Practice people that need seeing things through. You have the vision, start putting action. Right, it's not, I don't need to laugh, people. Let's talk to me. All right, let's talk a thing out of hand, though. There's just too much talking, you know, and we need more action. I think he's the highest example of that. So we give thanks for that word sound. Another one thing we want to touch on is getting your priorities in order, right? Money management, getting your priorities in order. I want to emphasize this man was a president of a country, right? I'll say it again. I don't think people fully understand this, right? Yes, it may have been a low, we don't say a low income country, whatever we want to refer under the proper term, but he was the president of the country, right? They have a term called austerity. Usually when you talk about austerity, you talk about reduction of expenses. In the context, what I'm saying in regards to money management, keeping your priorities in order and austerity, the man, they had all these luxury vehicles that political leaders in the country were running around, driving around in. The man sold those, right? Listen to what I'm saying now, right? This man is not a normal leader. Get your priorities in order. Listen to the life lesson. The man sold the luxury. I think they had Mercedes or something. Sold those vehicles, took the money, bought a cheaper economy car. He himself, this man, when he traveled, this man was not traveling no private jet. Man wasn't traveling no first class. Traveling economy. When he got to a place, they weren't staying at no 5-star hotels. This man was staying at regular hotels like the regular man, because the man knew the situation. Any money that this country got had to go towards the people. He himself was known for riding a bicycle. And when he died, when they killed the man and they checked, this man had no money. It's a pro and con to that, right? Maybe it's too extreme to a certain extent, but the man wasn't there teething the money, living in luxury. The man was wearing handmade clothes or clothes made with the cotton from his country by his people. So the thing is, the man had his priorities in order in the sense that these things need to be taken care of more than other things. Not to say if he developed this country, maybe he would spend money on other things, but he saw that this is more important than that. And I think that's the greatest money management lesson a person can have. To fire, you need a place to stay. You got to make sure your basic bills are covered. Too many times I hear people talking about this, and it's like, fire, you work and you make enough to take care of your basic necessities. So why aren't you taking care of that first before you do the other things? And I'm not trying to chastise the women, right? But I'm using this as an example because I hear it too many times. The nails and the hair is very expensive to maintain, and you're spending money on this, but the main things aren't taken care of. I don't want to hear you complaining in public about rent due, a car this. And you know that's not important. That's not the priority. We need to prioritize when we're dealing with money management. And I feel Thomas Sankara, by what he did and the courage he had to do it, is the greatest example of money management and prioritizing what's important and what needs to be taken care of first in regards to your finances.
I you know say when they talk about that, come like give me a goosebump in the car. Thomas Sankara is a man where me really idolize to a certain level in terms of how him approach the things certain ways. I mean, have a certain different type of respect for him because you say putting your priority in order. One thing people must understand, and I feel like this really, the modern day human, because I know some people might hear you talk about it from a historical standpoint, and them I feel like it's some old time days thing. But them now understand all of these concepts are concepts were so real and so relevant to today people. Because, all right, watch this. You put your priority in order, you gotta always have some form of opposition, And that when I think the people them now overstand because them feel like them supposed to be liked. So because them need to be liked by each and everybody, them feel like it stopped them from put them priority in order. Like Thomas Sankara did overstand say, if all of these government officials feel like say them higher than the people, and then them I get so much perks from being in the government, and me come now for come stop this. You think in the man never knows, so you gotta have certain backlash to it, that you gotta have certain coup where I go farm for try overthrow him because him a try set this precedence right. So, but him knows it have to get done anyway. So that's one thing enough people need to understand. So when you put a priority in order, you got opposition, you got enemy, you got people who are rejected. Because remember, if you did a floss every day in a party and I buy champagne and a pop ace of speed and all of these things, Remember, say, when you stop pop this now, every time you pop a buckle, somebody come around with a cup, because them ready for the juice get through tonight, But when you stop do all of them things, people are going to start look upon you different and I start to wait. You're not going to have no more benefit to them in the toxic lifestyle. See? So now, you have to start develop back your thing now from scratch. I know, so watch I know, them have to be your opposition because the only reason why you and them are even friends in the first place are the reason why you and these people get along because you live a toxic lifestyle. So the moment you draw from a toxic lifestyle, guess what I got? No opposition will come. But that does enforce you more to get a priority in order for overstand say. It does your happiness and your vision you have to fulfill. And the only way you go fulfill that and get a priority in order if you know how to carry it out right off the top. And Thomas Sankara be an exemplary leader and an influence towards how we have to set priority. And we can't forget them things there when we don't read about them and when we see about them and we can see certain impact. And I tell you that.
No, seriously, I was laughing when he says the toxic lifestyle. Fire, people don't understand how they move and hopefully, I know it takes time for some people to see, but people don't fully always like how you're moving and how toxic it is and how destructive it is. So we hope one's listening kind of reflecting and look at how you're moving and you hopefully delete certain. That's what we need to do right now. Right? We need to delete certain behaviors from your life so you can be up on heights. Last thing I want to say in regards to Thomas Sankara, we'll give you 3 due to the time. Another great life lesson, life-changing lesson, and I'm going to include Marcus Garvey on this with don't overextend yourself. Don't overextend yourself. He was a victim of this, and both Marcus Garvey. Thomas Sankara expanding. He had the vision and he had the courage, which is rare to mesh those two together consistently and act on them as far as I just spoke about. So he had that down. He overextended himself where I don't know if it's ego or ambition, but something ran ahead. And that, all right, ahead in the sense that he himself didn't have the skill set to implement what he was doing. And also he didn't have the team. So you put these things in place, but he didn't know how to manage them and scale them. And he didn't have the team to manage them. One of the things I want to mention more was the schools. He did have a literacy program where they were able to successfully increase the literacy in the country. The issue came, there are many issues, but one of the issues I want to focus on is the building of schools. Build a lot of schools, had the people working. It's a great idea, right? It's almost like an Instagram thing, right? Like, we just built 10 schools in Jamaica, right? Yes. How are we going to manage them? Where are we going to get the teachers from? Where are we going to get the funding from? How are we going to maintain these things year for year, insurance and maintain the schools and all these things? And that part he didn't have. So that part, maybe he should have opened one school or two schools and fight with that for a little bit and get the blueprint, then move forward. Because sometimes, man, I just spoke to Dr. Dye. She said something so brilliant in regards to our self is content with the time frame, but it's our ego that wants things to go fast. I don't know how she said it. She said it real slick, but basically that's what she was saying. She said if it was up to us and we weren't trying to impress other people, we would take our time. But it's the ego that wants to impress. And I just want to mention one more thing in realistic. I'm pretty sure in his case, being that guns were aimed at his head, I'm pretty sure he knew he didn't have enough time to. So we have to factor that in too. I'm pretty sure in his subconscious, he was aware, say, yo, after you burn in the fire, first of all, you already know how you're moving already, especially when it's Brazier married the girl from France. He probably knew, say, yo, time is a ticking now. Because I know about keeping your friends close and all that, but I know as a general, you had to see, say, yo, this not going to work out long term. But nonetheless, I just want to say in the average man's, because we can't compare a leader of a country compared to the average citizen. But in his case, maybe he was rushing through the time. But to tie it all back in, don't overextend yourself in any aspect of your life. Not saying that you shouldn't have ambitions, not saying that you shouldn't push yourself, but there's a healthy pushing yourself. You can't go over the edge, but you do have to stay on the edge for growth. Some people don't go near the edge, right? You have to go near the edge. You have to go near the edge. Your toe should be a little over the edge for growth, but you can't jump off the cliff. But we're encouraging people at least go to the edge. at least go near, go half a mile near the cliff. Let's start that. Let's start walking near the cliff, right? And as you build yourself up, but that toe, I think, for consistent growth, on a serious note, though, for consistent growth, your foot has to be near that cliff. I think sometimes we get too revved up and we jump off the cliff, and it's not that. But don't overextend yourself, and it's good to tell people no. And when you're starting a new project, give yourself time. Start small, learn your craft, and build up. And if you have a team now, make sure your team has the skill set to implement the mission. Because I think people fail of training their team properly to execute the mission. You can't just go get a team for the sake of getting a team. If you're the leader, it's your responsibility to make sure the team knows what they're doing so the actual thing can get done. Because if they can't do it, it's not going to get done. And you can't expect them to do it for the sake of doing it. So Marcus Garvey suffered from that also. Marcus Garvey had infiltration, this and that, but he overexpanded too much, and too much people fight. You got to vet the people around you. Too much randoms in there that don't have good intentions, that are not about the mission and about themselves. This could be family, nuclear family. This could be expanded for business, but it's universal concepts that we have to follow. So you have to vet people. And it's okay to keep people at a distance, because especially when your thing going good, everybody want to come around. But they're not coming around. Why are they not coming around for you? They're not coming around for you. They coming around for what they could get from you, or they think they're going to build up their thing off of you. So just be careful of that. But anyone listening, there were some books I recommended in the on the radio show, because we just did one, but I do want to recommend A One-Stop Shop, the documentary Upright Men. It's in France, or it's in French, but they have the I apologize. You want to touch on this real quick before I do that?
No. When me say still, you say, not overextending yourself as an ambitious person. I one of the hardest thing them. Yes, you see, and then but they come clear it up still when you talk about the team, because when time really I do my research with Thomas Sankara them over the years, and Marcus Garvey, especially with Marcus Garvey, who spent so much years I try to overstand. What we get to realize is the vision where them have, and being a visionary come with so much departments and so much different compartments that sometimes you feel like you have a grip on something, but you don't really have a grip on it. And especially when you're a leader in a position and you try to have a forward advancement, and delegate certain things to other people too. Them other people then not have the same vision and not have the same compassion for see things work like how you do it too. And then here's the next part to come into it now. Remember, say this game of politics. So I feel like it's politics where we have learned to understand how politics work. So you have this time when you have to just be ultra revolutionary and you have to go out there and push the works on them to a certain extent and say, this way I deal with it. But then you have the next time that we have to learn how to be diplomatic to certain things now. And so because leaders like Thomas Sankara never have that much allies due to the way how him is a visionary and the farmer the activism with him in a, you know, say him have more enemies than him have allies. So that now become the partner where him would have fall short pan. So I feel like it's not like what I mentioned, eager ambition. It's definitely the ambition, but the way how it work out is just that the resources them never really wide enough to maintain all of that. So the stability end up drop. As they said, their lifetime, he must know in himself say from all Blaze me feel like say him knows say Blaze compare and all them people that did a plan for plot against him from a taller time. But him just as we say, I try make sure say him accomplish this set amount of things. But one particular leader though, what we want to bring in the mix when you talk about overextending self, who feel like they have the ultimate solution for overextending oneself is Malcolm X. Because when Malcolm X did offer the OAU, when he did build the OAAU, him have a particular in the book called Any Means Necessary. You can read about it too when him talk about it. Him talk about one overextending themselves. So him say that's one of the main reasons why him create the OAAU. So yes, it's a model of a OAU with Haile Selassie and Kwame Nkrumah them and even Thomas Sankara them involved in. But himself, for political divisions, we're supposed to have our political experts. The scientific divisions, we're supposed to have a scientific expert. So him as say in every single field, we're supposed to have our experts then. And with these experts come committees, and the committees them supposed to be well organized. So once we have the model for each of these committees, then we can put out the model there. And then we'll focus on the next model and we'll put out the model. So him did have the solution for the overextension and him listed explicitly in the book called Any Means Necessary. They have a speech about it. So I feel like say that I one of the main thing them. It sound easy, but I one of the most difficult thing them for do. And especially when you have ambition, because you know, even in my life, something when I realize all the time. So sometimes I just find myself, I just overextend myself just like that. Well, me never even finish up or seal up one mission, but it's just a drive in a way for see so much different things take place. But we just have to make sure so we focus and meditate and say this really not finished yet. Because sometimes we feel like some of our visions them gone through the door, you know. Cause I'm gonna Bilal to school and tell himself, say, boy, say the vision gone through the door, but as they say, how the teacher them are maintain, how the school are get resources to get certain different things what the youth them need to learn. So it's just a matter of that we have to know how the continuous cycle work when we are dealing with the betterment of humanity. But overextending oneself is kind of natural in a sense, you know. But it's just how we fall back in line and make sure so we can drive the vision forward before we even move to our next vision to same way.
No, serious words, son. I give thanks for recommending the Malcolm X book. It's a great book. Whereas a great book, by the way, it's a great book. Make sure you get out. Actually, I'm gonna put the link in the description. 2 books I want to recommend: Thomas Sankara Speaks, Burkina Faso Revolution, 1983 to 1987. Excellent book compilation of speeches. Now, when you get this, make sure you get the English version because there's a French version there. So make sure, unless you're fluent in French, make sure you get the English version, right? And there's one more book I want to recommend. Let me pull it up. This one here is a small book. It's called Thomas Sankara, African Revolutionary. This group here, Ohio Short Histories of Africa. I have one on Selassie, Steve Biko, Patrice Lumumba. It's the next Brazier. What's the next Brazier from South Africa after Biko? Anyway, I got one on him, and they're very good. I won't say it's pocket size, but it's not that big. But it's very well done. Believe me, it's very well done, and they do a great job of telling their story. So you definitely want to check it out. I'll put that in the description also. But if you're unfamiliar with Thomas Sankara, I highly recommend check out a documentary called The Upright Man. It is on YouTube for free. It's in French, but they have the English subtitles. And if you can share with someone the greatness of Thomas Sankara, because it's very important for us to it's unrealistic for us to look at the system to highlight these people for us. So that's not even a conversation. You get what I'm saying? It's for us to do the best we can to just keep these people alive, because the works that they've done are just so great and so inspiring. And it's not the fact of worshiping this brethren like some Catholic angel or something, or what do you call these saints, but it's like these are the people that we should use for inspiration, because they've done some great works, you know, and it's the same bloodline, same way, so we could do a great work within our realm. So we give thanks for that. We give thanks for everyone tuning into the podcast. Make sure you check.
And for be an upright man, you know, I don't want no. I mean, I tell you right now, most of the man them where I walk, them lean, you know, them not upright in a fire. So you see the statement where the man is a land after upright man. It's not a joke. Me say something I pray every day, fire. Me have all a tune about it. Serious talk, fire. For be an upright man. Right now, most of the man them where us right now I move feminine. So you know, see the man, most of the man them Lego the masculine trait them, what them supposed to have to drive forward. So you see, if you be an upright man, it's not easy. That's what I say.
Serious thing, Far Eye. And I want to mention, make sure you check out the documentary there, Story of Jamaica's Most Famous Shirt, the Mesh Marina, first edition of I Never Knew TV short film series. Far Eye's music there blazing up. Far Eye has some more music coming for you soon, so definitely stay tuned. But in the meantime, you can enjoy. And also check out the backlog too. Also, and see the growth for the Brazian and his musical capabilities with the word sound, disrupting the status quo EP there in the description. Video here. The latest one was Freedom of Africa, but he does have a video for every song on the EP. Check us out at Conscious T, more stuff from I Never Knew TV. And that is it. We're really appreciative for everyone been supporting the thing from those times till now, and we give thanks. Sing.